Hey you people, we're back. This time we have a similar layup as last time. It's the finals of the KotA season, so this game is played right after the last one in the series. And it's featuring myself on Tzeentch, the same list as I played in Atlanta, against William Skaven, who took home the semi-finals. So without further ado, let's get into lists. I must shrink myself down in the corner again to not be in the way. We can start with a recap on the Skaven. If you watched the last video, you got it by now. I'll post this in the comment section as well, or in the description of the video, so you can like read through it without the shitty quality of the stream. Right, so we got Skaven Warpcog Convocation again. 2 drops with all the Skaven lores spell-wise. We got Vizzik still on 450 cause it's 3 days before the battle scroll drops. He got a reinforced Clanrat unit, a Doom-flayer unit reinforced, and a Plaguepack reinforced. Like the perfect setup for using the honor guards there. Regiment 1 is a grey Seer on the Screaming Bell, just a 6-inch aura as of this video at least. Then we got a Clanrat unit and a reinforced Ratling Gun. So some pew pew and threat there. I myself run Kairos, of course. He's got 20 blues with him. He got the change caster and a spawn. Oh, as well as 6 flamers, because can't leave home without those. Pretty solid setup here as well. You got flamers to make use out of prior target. You got blues, can make use of prior target because weight of dice is a thing. And then you have the change caster, who is commonly a bodyguard. Sometimes the flamers act as a bodyguard as well, depending on the matchup a little bit. Other than that, aside General's Reg, we got Lord of Change with 3 units of 10 pings. Lord of Change is armed with a burning blade, and the Illusionist for -1 to hit. Pretty well-rounded list, if I'd say so myself. As you see here in the background, I do have this is pretty much my standard deployment for it. You got 1 unit of pings there, acting as lone operatives. There's usually a forest or something that they can get the -1 to hit in and just hang out and be annoying. 20 wounds on a 6-up is not that easily removed against most things. Then you have my castle here with both birds. Some ways behind the front line depending on what you play against. Here it is Ratling Guns that is the threat, and that's leaving just a small bit behind. Because like I don't like deploying the full length behind, really. Because I do when it depends though. But mostly not, because I like having the threat as well. Because if it goes for like one of the birds here the first turn, it's kind of bad. Because it totally sacrifices the Ratling Guns then. And it's not even sure to kill a bird on it. So don't you play. Also like leaving there's a gap between the bird and the front line gives me the opportunity to redeploy forwards and further extend my threat on the birds. And most times I actually get to use that. Because people don't go for like a risky turn 1 play to decide the game is very, very rare to see, at least in like the top tables as this is. And yeah, like the castle is blues in front, 2 pings on either side, and the flamers just hanging out with Lord of Change. There is a change caster in this mix of pings. I like him a little bit in the front to have like a further like damage threat up there. And yeah, that's about it for my deployment. Let's get into the game. Play this. We have some editing going on here. So William, I have elected for William to go first here. And he plays a no-hole that he can use for take their land. A bit like he doesn't really have any good choices of tactics here, because I have my teleport spell, and he doesn't really have the damage threat to Damage threat to deal. Oh, there's an arrow. I know video editing. Nah, seriously though, I'm gonna try to get a little bit better on that. Like on this video, I managed to like cut it up a little bit to have it at least not go as long. I think we're at 30 minutes roughly. It finishes. So he's measuring out to see like what he can get there. Like his hero face. We should probably like talk about honor guard choices here. William goes for prior target on these Doom-flayers, as they are really good at mixing up horrors. Like they will just blend them once they get in. And I go for prior target on my blues, as that are, yeah, the weight of dice here, since it doesn't really have a proper armor saves. The weight of dice I feel is the best option. And like bodyguard won't do much here either, right? Is there anything I'm missing? Probably, but let's keep rolling. So William does decide to go for that tactic. Throws out some spells and stuff. I think that's -1 to be wounded on those Clanrats, or just building up like the prayer points on Vizzik. And I go for a teleport on my blues to deny the tactic here. Which, like, this will make it super rough for William to do this tactic. Since they are prior target against these boys, they probably take some damage before they go in with the covering fire. Also worth to note, as William did try to protect this hole with a skitter leap, but I managed to unbind it. So it's not just a super misplay or anything, it's just dice happening. And dice should happen there, because I plus unbinds, right? So William moves up the hamster wheels. That's probably moving up his castle a little bit. Taking over the objective there with them Clanrats. Measuring to make sure if he can fit something, but it's totally blocked off. Oh, I got so many songs in my brain at the moment. Ooh, there's my pretty blues. Jesper's using the camera to play around there a little bit. So, moving the castle up here to take some board space at least. Like the scenario is a little bit wonky since we choose like a prior objective, and then like it is so rough to score 10 on this. Nearly impossible, honestly. Here I get to make use of that redeploy forwards, as there's no threat on my birds. I roll a 5 even, so I can make it to the place of power here in the middle. And just take that and make use of it. For change, I think he gets to within 18 of the bell and stuff, so we can start applying damage. There are the blues again. And yeah, we go for covering fire here, mainly to apply burning, but it's always nice to, if we can remove a wheel or two. I think I end up doing 7 damage here to the wheels after saves, which removes 1, leaves 1 on 1 wound, so we're on like, would have liked to kill 2, it would have been amazing, but we can't have everything right. And like 3 wheels will not clear 20 blues, so I think we're pretty safe in like denying the tactic here. Optimal would probably be to leave them alive. So we have an easy tactic for the next turn, as they are in the entourage. These boys go in. I think they do about 20 damage to the blues or something like that. So they do blend horrors, as I said. We are a bit lucky on the returning brim roll here, so we will just remove like the blue and the brim most of the time here. That's why it looks a little bit wonky there. And looks like they did barely any damage at all, but like it's almost every blue there was two wounds. And like the blues doesn't quite manage to remove them, but in the end, like the fire, I rolled a 3 on the the mortal damage, and that was what's left. So it was real close to getting a free tactic there in my turn. That's not the case though. And here William holds 1, holds 2, not more, because I was on that. Let's see on the scoring. I think he just ends up on a 2-point turn. Hold 1, hold 2. Yeah, that seems to be about right. And I here elect to take their land on this bottom forest. The reason I didn't go for like seize the center is because Ratling Guns are here, and I felt like that would put me in too much danger of them. So wanna play a little bit defensively, preferably get these top pings on that objective so I can do 1-2 more, and tactic for 8. Yeah, that would be 8. Maths is hard. But I just start slinging my spells here. I think we put roughly 6 wounds into the battle. We spiked the flame or the flame storm here, but like proper solid war saves. I think the Wyrdflame board and the flame storm. Right. Kairos does like put up the sun mainly to just screen out any upcoming no holes. Also, the Great Tide comes out here. Or if it's yeah, it's behind that big building in the center. So, and I end up like teleporting my change caster here up to there, to partly to deny anything from this no hole, keeping him like guarding that one, and also partly to do a rally roll with +3 dice on these blues, because they are the ones who's gonna take over the forest here. In hindsight, I probably should have casted shackles to prevent these Clanrats from doing the claw steps and then redeploy into this forest. Because as you'll soon see, I kind of blew this tactic hard. And poor rally rolls just succeeding with 2 on 9 dice. But like a shackles here would like prevent them from moving sideways in how they'll do now, because you can just line it up right. Also like reduce their moves or reduce the amount of, or reduce the distance. But I think I was afraid of like the counter charge, or free counter charge basically, or distance wise at least, into the shackles, getting like Vizzik and the Clanrats in there. But hindsight, it should have been so much less bodies in this forest if I just would have done that. So that would maybe have left me with a chance of scoring this tactic. Instead like throwing 2 damage into Vizzik, like sure it starts the grind on him, but tactics are more important than the grind. At least when we play this kind of defensive game, really. Could probably speed this up even more. Oh, please do tell like if it's easy to follow with what happens in the game in this speed. I got some parts in like double the speed, some parts in 9 times the speed, just because some parts where Oh yeah, we got my Destiny die roll. Not super, but I think it's about what one can expect from a game. Like a little bit on the low end with these dice, because it's nice to have like some values that make sevens. But I think you can expect like 2 9s. I haven't done the math on this. It's just my gut feeling. I'm gonna start off with saying, but like two combination of 9 feels solid. A 6 would have been nice, but the lower end on the other dice makes I can't really use this for other than bringing back units, right? Which is a little bit of a shame. And yeah, I do accidentally move up a little bit too much, so like 3 Ratling Guns have line of sight to my pink horrors here. And the redeploy comes out on the Clanrats. Making it so like a bunch of them are close to the forest. And them having the -1 to be wounded and my +1 armor save here makes like pretty much an impossible tactic at this point. Or as soon as I saw the claw step, I was pretty sure that we were fucked there. But like since William scored 2, it's not too bad to fall behind, I guess. We shoot what we can into those, so at least reducing numbers a little bit, but that -1 to wound is harsh when you wound no force with everything, right? And dice rolls. Yeah, Ratling Guns rolls a lot of dice. Only removes a few horrors, but gives me a few more blues, so that's nice, at least. And we do make the charge here hard roll on it, because we don't seem to. Now we seem to have view. Yeah, we use a 9 here, I think, to make that charge, or an 8. I think it was an 8. Optimistic, but like since they make a fine line here, they kind of box his army in as well. So I'm kind of okay with using dice for this charge, as it will prevent this army from advancing forwards. Also, if I were clever enough, I would probably have gone into the forest with all the blues. Not to have the like it won't affect anything this turn, but it would make sure that the Ratling Guns doesn't shoot them off the table in the upcoming shooting phase. And here the fun dice rolling begins with brims showing up and blues dying. So yeah, a bit of a fuck up here for me really this turn with underestimating how far claw step and redeploy gets a 40-man unit of Clanrats, which will end up with me scoring 2 as well, but having blocked out like the camera is wonky, but what we measured there was like if William could fit a no-hole and he could not, so they had blocked out all the space with the help of this terrain piece as well. Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty happy about my positioning. Was a little bit, but would have liked to succeed the charge up here to possibly take over that objective. But you can't have everything, and yeah, tactic was a bummer. Yeah, but I do end up winning the prior roll here, and I do decide to take it, going for the doubles, no tactic needed. But I feel like I have pretty good setup to mainly to just partly to do damage, but also to just make sure William doesn't get out of his deployment zone really. Like if I can nail down this front and not have his cast move up, it will be really hard for him to score 1-2 more. As long as I protect like this no hole and anything he can pop up later. Like this battle round, there won't be any because I had screened them out. But for the next round, like the sun is here only to screen out those no holes. For example, I don't expect it to do anything. So ideally, I would take out Vizzik and Screaming Bell to have them not be able to unbind them either. yeah, we port Kairos up to try to deal with this these Ratling Guns and make sure they do not covering fire. But he, of course, rolls a Snake Eyes as soon as he's teleported within 13. So there's no fun in that. We do have like a pretty good backup to take care of them not doing anything, and that is putting pings as close as possible to them. If they are the covering fire options, we will just fill up our blues unit. I don't think William will want to do that, really. Because I'm happy to sacrifice a couple of pings to gain the double amount of blues, right? Especially in this position, where he's kind of stuck with them. Like, we do some damage into the bell and into Vizzik as well with our spells, but like nothing major, just some shipping. Because we do try to remove as many units as possible that he can't bring back. Yeah, since this happened just after the Sylvaneth game, where I saw like that play, I was like, oh, I'ma do that. So like the hamster wheels are removed. We are shipping down Vizzik and the bell mainly. And yeah, here William measures to decide where he should close that. Measures that my Grey Tide can't do the horde clearing ability on those Clanrats. So they are kinda safe at least. Debating if the Ratling Guns should move back, as I might be able to tag them here with a charge. Yeah, clock is a thing. So you use the close-ups on the top Clanrats there to tighten up the castle a little bit. Pops Death Frenzy on these boyos. And the -1 to be wounded, so that, like, they do hit pretty hard, honestly, when they are buffed up. Some crit mortals on this, and it would be rough for real. Like, I have no armor save to speak on, so against me it doesn't really matter too much. The auto wound is enough, since I just have a 6-up, right? The Death Frenzy fighting twice here is might make sure like he clears enough of my horrors to not get stuck in for long. Like, I move pretty much everything forward here in my turn, my movement phase, except for like the Change caster who's screen out of that no hole, and the Purple Sun who's waiting for another one to pop up somewhere and go to it. Yeah, here's me measuring out like where can you put it so that it. Yeah. Still could probably pop it up here, or like the no hole there, and then the units here, since the no hole is not limited by endless spells, but the units that pop out of it are. But I don't think, like, as he has nothing to bring back yet, it's hard. I like probably only the Clawpack would fit, because there's a footprint to a unit as well, and hold within 6 of the no hole isn't that far. Bell elects to redeploy back to not give my bird that close of a charge. Yeah, we do some ship shooting again. Don't wanna, like, we do shoot the Ratling Guns here, I think, to possibly put fire on them. But since we didn't kill any, we will be in. It's probably a mistake to do that, honestly. Should probably have shot them into Vizzik. And then just tag the Ratling Guns, because we are in range of tagging Ratling Guns. Should have properly measured that instead of shooting them, and possibly like removing some and not be able to tag them. Also, more damage into Vizzik would be nice, as we are doing quite a bit of damage here with the flamers into him. I think we do about 9 or something like that So he is down to just having like 6 wounds left, and are burning. So it's on the verge of dying at least. Here, some ship damage into the other Clanrats. Yes, we will at some point. I need to kill him. We did throw out shackles here as well, which kind of blocks our charges here. They are behind this awful building, so we can't see them. But it makes sure like my bird need to go out here to make the charge. And stupid as I am, I roll it. I think this would be a really good opportunity to use my destiny die. As the bell has taken, I think it's 6 or something. A bird could potentially kill it, especially with the help of the Great Tide. Yeah, so we are not getting that charge because we're being dumb and rolling instead of taking it automatically. The Great Tide do make it in, however, here. So like, kinda box them in, but they could have done a better job, I think, at doing it. And yeah, horse. Makes sure to charge here outside of 3 of Vizziks, to not have his rampage go on them. But it also like forces me to go with the horse first in the combat phase, as I want to tag the Ratling Guns, and if the Clanrats pile, I would not be able to do so. So risking the Grave Tide here a little bit, because like sure it has 8 damage and probably survives at least a bell, but it's still dodgy. I think it does survive, but I think it's left on 1 wound after the bell and Clanrats has gone. Oh, sorry. I will again make some mistakes. I'm attacking into the Clanrats for some reason with my pinks. I should have just gone everything into Vizziks to try to chip in them further, because like there's no point in me attacking 40 Clanrats that return D3 at the end of the turn. It's like no point at all, really. I think like this combat phase was so meaningless as well, because I think William flunked basically all his rolls except against the Great Tide, and I pretty much did the same against him, or at least I attacked into Clanrats, which means nothing at this point. Here, I think it wasn't on 6, but like the Great Tide does 7 into the bell with a bird as well. There we would have killed the bell, right? That would have put us in a great position. I was like debating here if I should go into Vizziks with the dying pinks or if I should return blues. Like William here piles everything into the blues, so we don't have to make a whole lot of decisions. I think it's like 4 Clanrats or something attacking our pinks. Here I have played Tzeentch enough, so I should be better at like having patience for this sequencing. Because as I did now, I took all the damage on my blues, and then we did finish the pinks. I could have done the other way around, and that way I would have like had more blues to play with, because I think he kills 3 or something with his 4. Like he rolls insane with it. 4 does left and needs to attack them. Or kills. Let's see how many I remove here. Looks like none. Oh yeah, comes the second fight. Then all into the pinks instead. And here, like, I something clicking out, like, ah, right, now I can sequence it this way. And then we do all at the same time, at least. Boom, boom, boom. So now we put down the die for how much damage the blues take, which was just 1, which is like kind of badly rolled on these, but win some, lose some. We have zoomed in this forever. Yeah, returning blues. Cannot return as many as I would like, cause coherency is a thing. If we would have returned it to previously, it'd be nice and have more coherency to work with or move. But we do ping Vizzik for the ones that we couldn't return, at least we get some value out of it. He does take 2, leaving it at like 11. I think it's just 1 or something from the burning that he wards. But we end up holding 1, holding 2, holding more, not the primary that I'm like to have here. No tactic, but we have like a pretty solid position. Would have liked to have the bird here and no bell. We could learn from this and do that next time. Also not miscasting with Kairos, but that's like a little bit out of my control, but I'm gonna teach him until next time to roll better dice. Here William like to go for Slay the Entourage on my blues that are left. So if we would have sequenced it a little bit better, they would have been, yeah, like having a few more blues there at least to make it a little bit harder. It's not super easy here either, because it doesn't really make any spells so significant this turn, or in Death Frenzy it doesn't go off either. Oh, that's my bad. That really does go off, but it puts it on my bird to have it like reduce damage output for the next turn. Should probably have gone on the Clanrats to chore up this tactic, because it isn't. Like, sure, he should kill it. Like, what is it? It looks like 6 or 3 blues and 3 brims, which should be able to kill with these boys, even if they are -1 to hit. I need to attack the pinks at the same time, so it's like a bit dodgy, I suppose. Because like if he attacks the pinks at the same time, I get to like allocate which unit takes the damage first, so could end up in doing not favor to himself. And also like here, managed to unbind the or banish, it's what it's called nowadays, the Gravetide, and gets to rally his bell a little bit. So it's back up to more wounds left. I think it's still 2 dice there, so at least 7 taken. Moves up the Plaguepack to have like go at the blues with another unit. Also great if you can do them first and maybe kill them, not having to go into the pinks before taking care of it. Tightens up the castle even more with his unit there that's been on the top here. Move in the way of my bird. Bell moves up slightly. Yeah, and the Chakos are still here, but he will kill them this turn, so our invisible friends won't do any more damage at least. I can do a covering fire here with flamers into those Clanrats. So we're moving like 10 or something. Looks like, yeah, 6-ish. Plaguepack goes into the blues. Try and remove those boyos. Here William measures if he can get tag the flamers without tagging the Lord of Change. But here actually the unseen shackles makes it so they can't really do that, because it will like just tag a lot of change, because coherency, like they can't keep outside of him and still tag the flamers. Maybe if like he charged the shackles with them and went first with the bell, killed the shackles, then piled with the Clanrats, he could probably have tagged the flamers on the pile move, since he's free to pile wherever he like when he has nothing in combat with him. And there, these boyos, they kill, so there's just 4 brims left. Brims try to escape as much as possible. Doesn't really manage to do well in that, because I think it's just 6 on the pinks and the rest will be able to strike the brims. Was just not great odd, since it's 5s and 5s here. Crit auto wound is nice and all, but I think he ended up killing them just to the wound. So if we were sequenced it better the previous turn, we would probably not have given up a tactic there. Piloting those Clanrats to attack shackles. And yeah, Vizzik, he dies to the fire here. So at least he doesn't get another hero phase to do work in. But the Death Frenzy does still lay on my bird until his next hero phase. And so in William's turn here, he holds 1, holds 2, doesn't hold more, but makes his tactic for hold 1, hold 2, yeah, no primary, so 6 points. You can see it on the screen there. I was just slow, but it puts me as the underdog, which is kind of nice, because this is, as I said before, 3 days prior to the battle scroll, so no underdog forever for the ones that gets doubled. And here that no hole we spoke on previously, the sun's little baby to guard comes out, because there's no point in delaying this with the position that William is in. Even if I won the prior roll here, there won't be, like, there's no reason not to put this up, I think. So what happened in this hero phase? It passed by so quickly, I wasn't really ready. I do ordain charge on this objective, because it's completely open for me. And like bird charge and some horrors there, and it's done. I do fail all my spellcasts, or except one that gets unbound instead. William in return does fail his spell as well, so we are at least failing in solidarity. He claw steps these Clanrats to like block me off from having access to his primary objective. Really, it does like gave me a little bit of an idea here. The Kairos could move down here, charge them, power through, and get on the objective, since it's just a single Ratling Gun on it. Here, measuring to how far we are from the Ratling Guns to make sure like we have something else that is closer, which will probably end up being these blues that we put out with our mighty one of a Fate Dice. Oh yeah, we even, like the surface, we even Fate died a 10 or a 9 for a spawn. But it got unbound. No, I still have the dice there though. It might be a spoiler for the next hero phase. No, it's pretty sure it was like we might have rolled a 10 and it got unbound though. goes my Noxious. Yeah, we did some ship damage into the clock. With our shooting, we elected not to shoot too much with the flamers, because we need a charge target here. And like ping charge in, lock charge in, tags the Ratling Guns. Kairos did as we say, the charging there and powering through. Yeah, like both players' clocks are also getting low here, which is... I'm not that used to being low on clock, honestly, even if I play a Tzeentch horror list. Oh yeah, there was a cut for skipping the combat phase, really. We did some, like, kill the clock, put some damage into the Ratling Gun so we could put burning on them. There's 2 left now and burning. And then we have Kairos doing his rolling thingies. Yeah, we have to attack with the sun here and that dude there, because now when we're low on clock, we're doing everything properly. And Kairos does power through, so we score 10 since we will get this primary objective now. Still tagging the Clanrats here on the power through. William correctly identifies that 2 Skour are tactic here, or easiest one to score is probably attack on 2 fronts. Since Kairos took like 7 damage from them in this combat phase, he's kinda low, and having Plaguepack go into him as well as the Clanrats might kill him. So like I did a mistake here. I should not have put a spawn into the Ratling Guns. I should have countercast a spawn into the Clanrats to tag the Plaguepack, making sure that they can't charge Kairos, because Lord of Change still like tags these boys here. So it was a little bit unnecessary from me, I think, or a big mistake. Because like if William kills this dude, the sun goes away, he can put. There's no dead unit there though, so that's an issue. Like I think he's hoping that these Clanrats die this turn, so that he could return them up here. Or that I kill. I probably kill two or one Ratling Gun with Lord of Change and a spawn. So he's probably safe in doing that. So as long as Kairos dies, the sun goes away, he can put Ratling Guns on that objective, taking over this one. Means that he will score not the full 10. He'll get 8 since he won't hold more. But that would still put him like in. I think we would be equal on. Yeah, equal is what it looked like. Yeah, and he goes into Kairos with the Plaguepack. Does elect to go with the Clanrats first since it's more attacks, I suppose. And Kairos kills a few of the Plaguepacks, but with all our defense, he ends up surviving here. And yeah, Ratling Guns dies from the spawn. We do fail to kill that unit though, because we apparently can't kill Clanrats at all. And yeah, Ratling Gun still comes out, but on this objective, so there's no succeeded tactics, and he just takes over. No, it doesn't even take over that one because I'm controlled too, but sets up for the next turn, I suppose. So it's a 0-point scoring turn there, and I do win prio, and we kind of call it here because, yeah, William was out of clock. I was on like 2 or 3 minutes, but since he won't be able to roll like dice, I could just seize the center and take their land for free, and leaving the board state as is, I would still have won it. So that was like the conclusion to the game, the KotA season finals. We won, and the trophy up there is super cool. It's like a hammer on a stand, and it's magnetic, so you can remove it and have the power of the hammer. Also a bottle opener, which serves me nicely. I'm not super happy with this game, honestly. William kind of lured me into his pace, so which is I'm pretty good at keeping my own playstyle and pace and stuff like that, but I don't know, William's aura has caught me off guard more than once. It's also like only my third or second game into the new Skaven, so I'm a little bit I show too much respect, I think, still for the Rats. I need to get more confident in that matchup, I think. But it was a nice game, not super well played by any of us. I think we were not super happy with it. It's the day after like a Christmas party, so you gotta have some excuse, right? Yeah, a little bit more kind of video or edited video this time. Feel like I still could probably do a little bit more like the arrow thingies and maybe not have as fast pace, because now I barely like caught up with it, which was dodgy. So I need to fine tune it a little bit, but we were at least putting out something, and we are happy with that in the moment. So until next time, see you around.